Those who face eternity easily forget what a lifetime means, what an ending means.
You know it doesn't have to be this way.
No, Kunavine, it does. They need me.
Okay, hello, welcome everybody, welcome Boots, how's it going?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, very special day today. We're getting around to our Vindicator conversation that we've been promising everyone, remember that?
The Vindicator, yeah, we were totally going to talk about that today, right?
Yeah, we're shelving it, Boots.
Okay,
we're
good.
shelving the Vindicator. I don't know whether it will happen now, guys, because we're in a position, I think, where we're going to get quite a bit of Elite Spec news over the next few days. Starting today with what's in the title, the Spectre.
The Spectre.
Who wields a scepter. Now, they must have done this on purpose.
I imagine they did. I don't know how I feel about it, but I love it and hate it at the same time.
I don't hate it at all. I'm not even joking. I love that name, Spectre. I think that's an awesome name. I like sort of undead and ghosty stuff though, so maybe that's...
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I don't love it and hate it. I don't love it. I don't hate it because it's called the Spectre. Spectre's a fine name for it. I just love and hate it because it's Scepter, Spectre. It's like literally a one-letter difference. It's gonna be fun tongue twister every time we talk about it while rating.
Yeah, I saw some comments on the official YouTube video of the trailer. We'll watch that, guys. I'll play a trailer for you in a second. But I saw some people like sort of slapping at each other about the spelling because I think the English spelling.
Yeah, British people and American spell like same thing with center, you know.
And armor comes up in fantasy games all the time, and they always drop
but
the U
that's
on
the
it,
U problem. Yeah, but there's a lot of words that have an ER versus an RE that is changed between American and British / Commonwealth spelling.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd have a bit of an ally with you, you know, with your sort of French influence
That's right.
in there. Don't you think I'm right that they should spell it my way?
I think you're right. It should be RE, but
oh, look at that! I love a unified front. You guys can come at us in the comments if you like. Okay, so yeah, the news is. We've got the Thief Elite specialization. I'm going to play the trailer for you guys now, and Boots and I will chat about what we think of it. So here we go.
All thieves know the advantages of hiding in the shadows, but specters know how to wield them. They are masters of shadow magic, using their scepters to direct dark forces and debilitating enemies. In Shadow Shroud, specters can tether themselves to allies, granting them a protective shadow barrier.
So what do you think? Anything strike you? I just want to say, to be clear to everyone, you might have missed it at the start of the trailer there, that the icon is the mask. I mean, we pretty much knew it was going to be.
Yeah.
Man, I just go back, Boots, and I think about those twin swords. I was sure it was Thief. I was sure we were getting a ninja, man. I was so ready for ninja, and now look at where we are, you know.
Now we got the Spectre. Spectre.
All right, so yeah, what do you think? What kind of struck you about what they've done here?
What struck me? Well, okay. Remember back when we did Elite Speculation for Thief?
I think I do.
And we were like, Axe, Assassin. And then we decided that's totally not what it's going to be like. As soon as we released the video, we're like, no, that's not right. But on top of the Assassin idea, we added the idea that they'd start using shadow magic, because a thief back in old Cantha days had a lot of shadow magic at hand, and they didn't have it yet so far in Tyria, right? It's all physical, very realistic thief stuff. Even though you get to go invisible, that's as far as the shadowness goes. But now, it looks like we're getting that shadow magic. It's not quite what we had in Cantha, it seems. We used to have, like, hexes and enchantments. I don't know exactly what this is, but it definitely looks like shadow magic to me.
Well, you've touched on two things there. First of all, the axe thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know whether you've noticed this, but I've seen in a lot of the commentary, people are, like, obviously, a lot of these elite specs from this generation, they're borrowing animations that are already in the game. And so people are basically pointing out that we're wielding a scepter, and you'd think we'd be casting and stuff with it, but we're essentially using it like an axe, as far as I can see. I mean, they're axe animations. It's just that, you know, maybe they'll throw out range projectiles and stuff. So is that sort of what you were getting at? It's almost like we've been given an axe. No.
I didn't even really think of it that way. No, but wait, are you sure that they don't do any ranged projectiles with the scepter?
No, they do. But like the way that it's being wielded and swung in certain places, supposedly it's...
Yeah,
it's
it kind of looks like
attacks,
in some of the animations, you're bashing them over the head with it, yeah.
I think it's a bit like, you know, Necro Axe 2. I think there's kind of a version of that, except it's throwing out some little projectiles there. I mean, look, with Guild Wars, guys, it's always been the thing where... You know, Necro wields axe a bit like a scepter, and now the thief might be wielding a scepter a little bit like an axe, I suppose. But you know,
the
it's
thief has always been
completely
kind of like that, right? Like they wielded the staff like a bow staff instead of a
caster
magic
weapon.
staff.
Yeah. So they can do weird little things like that. So anyway, I thought that was quite interesting. I think I saw an animation where we jump and we do like a bit of a pull when where we land, which I'm sure... Where do I know that from, Boots? Because I've had that experience. You land and everyone gets vacuumed into you. Where do I know that from?
That is from a Revenant...
it's Malik's. You're right. It's the Malik's lick. Classically, that's not the same now, though, is it? I think they've changed it now. That's where I know that from.
It looks like a Malik's Leap mixed with the Shadow, whatever that thing is from Deadeye.
Yeah,
Like
see,
the
I
utility
was
skill.
thinking it was on Harbinger, but Harbinger just jump in and then you can like do the float otherwise, or maybe it's because I was jumping in on Harbinger and then using Spectral Grasp and it was the same. But yeah, I think that Rev thing's actually much closer. It's gonna be weird though. So the other thing you mentioned there was Shroud, shadowy Shroud.
So I don't know about you, real quick. Did you catch this thief, quote unquote, going invisible at all in the trailer?
No, I saw it do like a cool, like vampiric looking Vladimir thing where it like appeared out of a pool in the ground, but it wasn't.
It's got
invisible.
Shadow Shroud. Shadow Shroud is something we talked about as well in our speculation.
Well, that's what it's called. It is called the Shadow Shroud, right? Except it's just purple and not necessarily stealth.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me because there's going to be 2 shrouds in this one expansion.
True. Now the question is, how does this shroud work? Is this shroud now what you have instead of stealth? Or is it a new bar that you generate energy or something on that you will spend to be in shroud?
Well, that was our theory, wasn't it? That you could take, or we've definitely discussed in the past that maybe you can take stealth and you can repurpose it. So now it's no longer giving you stealth, but it gives you other benefits instead.
Yeah,
I kind of like that idea. That would explain like this kind of blue sort of visual styling, kind of a weird aesthetic. You don't really see anywhere else. It's maybe a bit mesmery. I saw people talking about the Binding of Ipos, but obviously you can't use that with this, even though the color scheme matches perfectly. But maybe they can tie the like lore together or whatever. So yeah, I think they will do something with stealth because they didn't show it in the trailer. And I think, Boots, do you have I think I've got an answer to this, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. What kind of role this will play? What type of fighter it is?
Well, they did mention that when you're in Shadow Shroud, you get to give a defensive buff of some sort of defensive shroud to your allies, tethered to them.
They said barrier, and you can actually see sort of the yellow barrier effect.
Oh yeah, it was
weird.
barrier. Yeah,
it's barrier. While you're in it, you tether to allies and give them barrier. So I feel like it's probably going to be a bit like Core Necro tether in Shroud, but instead of draining enemies, it's sort of
maybe this sounds very Scourgy as well.
Yeah. So there's a lot of Scourge comparisons going on. People really don't like Scourge, and they don't like the idea of their character playing like Scourge. It's quite interesting, I think.
Yeah, I think Scourge to me as well has always felt a little bit too slow, a little bit too, I don't know, a little bit not mobile enough. But Thief at its core is a very, very mobile spec, so I don't think it'll ever feel like Scourge.
Yeah, I mean, you'll always have Shadow Step and stuff available on it, right? So
yeah.
The other thing as well, though, that they said is there's the barrier. So support, we're thinking. They also say incapacitation, and of course we see the pull on the at least one of the animations where everyone gets sucked in together.
Yeah,
so
how do you feel about for the trailer them choosing to give the Spectre that face?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was wondering about that because it looks like a vampire.
Yeah.
The actual character looks like a vampire.
Yeah.
So this goes into a whole load of other stuff. Because Cantha in Guild Wars 1 did have hopping vampire enemies around. And I think a vampire theme is still right for the taking. I've always imagined it as like a blood magic plus kind of thing for Necro. But they've made a vampire-looking character here. I was surprised, Boots, because that icon is like that Oni mask thing. I thought they would be wearing the Oni mask.
I thought so too.
But they didn't do that. They didn't call it the Oni. This isn't like demon in any way. I mean,
they went with Spectre Spectre.
And it's like bluey kind of purpley magic, which again doesn't feel very Oni. So,
Oh no, that's
really
not true.
left
I think the dark purple magic stuff, it feels very old Canthan Oni magic.
Do you really think Oni-ish? I get it feels demony, especially with Ipos.
Yeah,
like
I think
setting
it
the
does.
precedent for that theme. So yeah, I mean, they might be doing that. Obviously, they don't talk about the lore in these teasers or anything, but that'll be something I'm really interested in when we get to the stream. The one thing I did want to say, Boots, in terms of like visuals and flavor and theming, right? I don't know what to make of the vampiric appearance, but is and again, you mentioned it. It's the Shadow Shroud, right? There's the Harbinger Shroud. There's the Shadow Shroud. What? Where is it? It's Cantha, right? Why? Why is it Shadow Shroud? Why is it not Shadow Form, Boots? Why aren't they calling it Shadow Form? I mean,
That's
surely
a good question. That's a good question.
I mean, sure, and it's like it's built around defense as well. I mean, defense for allies to a certain degree. So I don't know. I feel like, guys, they know that it's not. It must be, Boots, that Shadow Form is the elite skill. And that's why the Shroud itself, they must have used it somewhere. Or a trait, at least, like a Grandmaster trait. They must have used it.
It's possible. Yeah, that's a good question why they don't call it Shadow Form.
Sorry, just to keep everyone in the loop here, for Guild Wars 2 players, in Guild Wars 1, Assassins had a Canthan elite skill called Shadow Form that essentially made them invulnerable for all intents and purposes, and you could use it for running and farming. It was really iconic because it was so strong. You were very close to being invulnerable with this thing. So, you know, it's a good idea to bring it back in Guild Wars 2. You would have thought maybe they call a whole... It's iconic enough that a whole mechanic could get the name in Guild Wars 2, and they went with Shadow Shroud instead.
Yeah, I would say that I wouldn't be surprised if it's an elite skill or something in the spec, and that's why they didn't call it Shadow Form. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they just, slightly, were off on what would be slightly better than Shadow Shroud, because the same thing with like some of the things they caught, like the blades back with the Virtuoso, and all the naming conventions for things was a little bit confusing when you first look at it. So yeah, I think it's possible that they just didn't quite get the perfect name for it yet.
So I do want to ask as well, how do you, because I think there's a good answer to this, how do you think, obviously on Necro, we've never seen Shroud on another class. So Necro gets Shroud via Life Force in all iterations.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, how do they get Shroud? Like, is it, like I said, is it going to be instead of Stealth, because we haven't seen Stealth in the trailer? Is it going to be instead of, or in some way related to your initiative? Or
well, they just did that initiative UI change, didn't they?
They did do the initiative UI change. Or is it going to be some new energy bar that's going to, go on top of the initiative and then do stuff? Or is it going to just, like, go above the F3 ability like the F5
Catalyst.
on Catalyst? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I got to say, maybe it's because I'm stupid, I didn't play enough of it or whatever, but I didn't kind of enjoy the double resource management on Deadeye, where we had Malice pips and Initiative pips. So I didn't like it that much. So the idea of getting another spec like that, I like the idea it's all condensed into Initiative, personally. Like a much higher Initiative cap, but you spend it somehow. But, I mean, it's so... it can't just be affecting your new Shroud. It's still going to be a resource for the spending of weapon skills and stuff. So, I mean... I don't know what they'll do with it. I really don't.
Yeah.
And there's really no hint of it in the trailer anywhere, so who knows what they'll go with.
We will see.
That was pretty much the main stuff I saw, Boots.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch it through it again right now to see if there's anything we missed. Is there anything non-spec related that they put into it?
Well, I was looking at the enemy. I was looking at the Naga that is getting beaten up. But I actually thought it looked a lot like a Guild Wars 1 Naga for a time. I just remember on the tour, but if you guys didn't see my coverage of the map tour from last week, you really should check out the Naga. They look so good and so shiny and badass. And in this trailer, they don't, again, which is weird. But
well, here's another question. Hold on. So the at the end, the last page, splash page says Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons, February, blah blah blah. There's 4 characters there.
Oh, I see the image you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything?
I don't know if that's much of an anecdote, Boots.
No, it's not. Never mind. We can cut that out or something.
Alright, well, I don't know what this segue would be.
Okay.
Alright, well, there you go, guys. That's our immediate thoughts on the Spectre. Thanks so much for coming on, Boots. We'll see what everyone has to say about this. And keep it light, guys. Alright, I don't mind people criticizing the Elite Specs, but my god, looking at the YouTube comments under the official stream, Jesus Christ. We'll see what people are thinking. I've got to admit, Boots, I kind of wanted an Oni type thing. I kind of wanted a ninja. If there's a bit of Oni lore in this, I'm quite excited. But I guess the proof will be in the pudding in a couple of days. So yeah, keep an eye out, guys. Just want to note as well, in the next short while, hopefully very short while, you'll see a review go up on my channel. I've been working on it like a lot this past week. If you guys have been watching me on Twitch, you'll know. It's a review of Guild Wars 2 versus Final Fantasy 14. And it's a long video. I haven't done a video like it for a long time. If you watched my World of Warcraft Classic versus Guild Wars 1 review last year, it's exactly the same kind of thing as that. And that's going up very, very, very soon. So if you're looking for more to watch, keep an eye out for that. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I kind of, every now and then a video will come along that you really put a lot of effort and time into, and get nervous about how people respond to it. So hope you guys enjoy that, and it shouldn't be too far away. That's about it. Thanks very much for coming on, Boots. And you're streaming. Will you be streaming by the time this video goes up?
I don't know when your video's going up, but probably.
Well, Boots streams Tuesdays and Thursdays, right?
Yeah, these days in the afternoon.
So there you go. So keep an eye out for that. Obviously, he's got his YouTube channel. Oh, I never mentioned. I'm in a video over on his channel as well, aren't I? We did the balance with Boots. Boots Bad Builds.
Yeah.
The last one for the Earth. So yeah, lots going on, guys. Lots. Thanks very much for watching. Let us know what you think about the Spectre. See you next time.
Bye-bye.